Welcome to the episode 13 of Fridays with Dhawale. In the part 1, I hope you have gone through the part 1 presentation. We will take a recap of the concept of acute diseases and we see how we can apply this using the Borderlands principles in the case which I am going to present today. We saw acute diseases as a response of a susceptible host to the stress. And we saw how the stress is expressed through the symptomatology, first at the general level and then at the local level in both the cases. And how identifying the characteristic symptoms at the general and the local level can enable a physician to recognize the morbid susceptibility and its simillimum from the materia medica. And how a rational use of it with the correct posology, we can abort the acute disease in a short period of time. In this case 3, those who have gone through the treatise on pneumonias by Dr. Douglas Borland, which was published in 1939, he has given us 5 distinct presentations of pneumonias: the incipient stage, the frankly developed pneumonias, the complicated pneumonias, the mixed infection or an alcoholic patient, the complicated pneumonias, and the late pneumonias. The first 2 cases we saw had passed through both the stages, the incipient and the frankly developed pneumonia. The third case we will see a different aspect of clinical presentation. This is a case of a child, 1 year old 9 months, and he was already under homeopathic treatment for last 6 months. He was reporting for recurrent LRTI, which were going on almost every month, lasting for a 1 week duration, and he was on regular allopathic medications. He also had history of frequent breath-holding spasms, which used to occur approximately once in a week. His constitutional remedy defined was Calcarea carb, and it was given from single dose to 3 powder weekly. Over the last 6 months, about 7 doses were given. And intercurrent tuberculinum 1M was given on 6/2/99. This boy was doing apparently well. In the earlier episodes, he was given pulsatilla in 3 episodes, which were cured in 3 days, and arsenic album 1 episode. And in all the earlier acutes, he used to travel from URTI to LRTI. But since the homeopathic treatment, he never had an LRTI and not a breath-holding spasm. So this indicates that the constitutional treatment what he had received was helping him. On 4/9, he reports in the clinic with a symptom of cold, fever of 102, bronchi, increased thirst, and he had already visited the pediatrician, and as a routine practice, he was prescribed amoxicillin syrup along with the cough syrup, and he was taking that for the last 5 days. And he had come to the clinic, and in the clinic, the physician was not available, his assistants were there. So the parents refused to take medicine from the student physician. But there was a notation done by the student physician. Last week he had a fall on the head from the staircase, approximately from the 5 feet, and he had a mild contusion, but now it was healed. So this was just a notation done by the physician. Then again the patient comes on 6/9, and the patient, even after taking 7 days of amoxicillin, the picture is same. Now, when we try to study this acute totality, the only characteristic symptom is traveling of the disease from upper respiratory to lower respiratory, and the concomitant of thirst increase, dullness, and poor appetite, and cough which was aggravated in the night. So with this and with the past experience, he was prescribed arsenic album 204 mg. The patient comes back after 3 days, and here you see the patient is not better. We see the temperature response is fluctuating. He has temperature about 100 degrees, and then the temperature becomes normal. There are rhonchi and crepes all over. We see increased respiratory rate and a cough now which has become rattling. So definitely we see there is a progress of the disease in terms of increased exudations. So, but there is no change in totality. So the remedy is stepped up: arsenic album 1M 4 hours. After 2 days, the patient comes. The fever response is fluctuating. We see a new symptom of teeth grinding. The cough continues. The bouts are more prolonged, more in the night and early morning, and vomiting or sticky expectoration, and the child getting exhausted after expectoration and he sleeps, though he is apparently physically active during the day. And we see there is no much change in the respiratory rate between 30 to 26. So here you see, in spite of increasing the potency of arsenic album, we are not able to see a definite response either at the level of the sector or at the level of generals. So the physician decides to wait and watch and see whether any other new totality is coming or any other new picture is emerging in terms of the clinical picture or the homeopathic picture. Now, after stopping arsenic album, within 24 hours, here you are able to see the temperature is touching normal, but we are seeing the further worsening of the cough bouts and the symptom of thirst for sips of water continuing. So here the patient, and now you are able to see the disease is continuing, the picture is remaining same, and we are not able to see anything further. So the patient was advised to undergo investigations to at least have a clarity at the clinical level. But when we try to go to the remedy response analysis, especially in acute states, reference to aphorism 167, whenever there is a partially similar remedy, select a new remedy on the basis of accessory symptoms. But what are the new or accessory symptoms which you are getting is the cough is more between 2 to 6 a.m. There are prolonged paroxysms and there is vomiting of yellow phlegm and the child gets exhausted at the end of coughing. So this is a characteristic which you are getting at the particular level. At the general level, you are getting the symptom of thirst increase. We have already considered that symptom and night aggravation and prescribed arsenic album, which has not worked. But this characteristicness of the cough, the expectoration, the exhaustion, and the prolonged bout definitely would indicate a new remedy. Now, when we have the X-ray findings, we see the affection of the left basal pneumonia. Now, how do a physician give meaning to this distinct data? Here, you are not able to see one remedy picture. So this determines to have a proper anamnesis of the case from day 1 till today. Now we are seeing the child who is suffering from 4-9 and now we are here on 13-9. So it is totally 9 days of duration and you are seeing a changing pictures occurring in this. So that's why anamnesis is important. Now if you see the chronology of the events, the susceptibility before event. In this child, the susceptibility before event was apparently under control with the constitutional remedy. On 1-9, the child has head injury. He falls from 5 feet. There is a contusion. On 4-9, when he is seen by the student physician and subsequently by the physician, there is no evidence of head injury. But you are able to see, since this head injury, there is a change in susceptibility in terms of an upper respiratory infection. Now, earlier, the upper respiratory infections with homeopathic medicines were never progressed to LRTI. But this particular episode had progressed to LRTI much before they came to us. And no response to so-called apparently similar medicines from 6-9 to 11-9. So this will demand a reassessment of the chronology, the susceptibility, disease process, and the totality. So what we are here able to see is the clinical state of recurrent LRTI, now acute asthmatic bronchitis, now which has converted into pneumonia left basal pneumonia, as we saw in case number 1 in the first presentation. Here you see the susceptibility which was moderate, which was throwing a fair number of characteristics, now is becoming low. We are not having characteristics, characteristics in symptoms away from the disease. They are the symptoms of the disease, the cough, the expectoration, but only there is a change in the intensity and the character of cough. The sensitivity remains moderate. So when we try to revise the totality, we are able to see the causation, altered susceptibility since head injury. We are able to see a slow gradual pace. We are able to see the characteristic particular time modality, cough aggravation 2 to 6 am, the location of left lung base and pathology of inflammation. When we try to repertorize this, or this data may not be subject to repertorization, but on references to the repertory and the materia medica, we are able to see remedies coming up are sulfur, natrum sulf, coccus cacti, and calibi, and calcarea carb. Now, obviously, calcarea carb is the constitutional medicine, but when we examine calcarea carb in its sector totality, this picture of cough is not covered. Calibicrom, coccus cacti, and natrum sulf all share the same characteristic particulars, the time modalities. But natrum sulf, when we see, natrum sulf is a known remedy for effects after head injury, altered susceptibility. Now, going through the references of repertory or the materia medica, we never had any references where natrum sulf is indicated after head injury onset of respiratory complaints. But with our knowledge, we know the natrum sulf being a polycrest, natrum sulf having covering the head injury, natrum sulf covering the characteristic particular, and natrum sulf covering the location of left lung base. Natrum sulf was selected, and looking at the level of similarity, we have given natrum sulf 200 single dose. And you see immediate response of natrum sulf. Immediately on the next day, the cough duration, which was almost 30 to 45 minutes, the child did had a cough bout, but it lasted only for 5 minutes, and the patient is overall better. And only with single dose of natrum sulf over 4 days, this case completely resolved, and subsequently on 17/9, he was given his constitutional medicine calcarea carb in higher potency, 1 single dose, and the child completely sick. So what we learn from this case, at the disease level, we are able to see a non-responsive, progressive, and a slowly developing disease, not responding to an apparently indicated acute remedy. At the level of assessing perceiving the totality and assessing the susceptibility, we see initially the physician was prisoner of past experience, that is arsenic album, which was a partial similar remedy. Some time was lost in deciding whether it is a medicinal aggravation or the disease aggravation, the period between 11th and 13th, and error in appreciating the sensitivity and pace of disease. So what we learn from this case is concept of cause needs to be widened. What we saw, head injury to LRTI, altered susceptibility, and to pneumonia. Importance of chronology and anamnesis in acute fatality. The concept of susceptibility, evaluating it in health, in disease, and in selection of remedy. And application of knowledge of repertory, materia medica, and remedy response evaluation in managing these type of cases. So here we are able to confirm the teachings of Dr. Borland, where he states in homeopathic prescribing, the endeavor is to find a drug which will not only cover the actual pathological picture, but also the reaction of the individual patient to the disease. Here we saw the pathological picture of pneumonia of the left base, but the reaction of this individual patient, the child, was reaction to the altered susceptibility after head injury. So greater your clinical medicine experience, the more successful you are going to be. That means the more you are able to separate the characteristic symptoms from the common disease symptoms. Now, in this case, though cough was a disease symptom, but the type of cough, the prolonged paroxysm, the time modality, and the child getting exhausted at the end of the bout has been classically described under natrum sulf, the remedy. And yes, we homeopaths are always symptom hunter, but we do nothing of that kind. We try to identify the valuable symptoms from the hunting which we do during our case taking. And in that, what helps us is our understanding of the susceptibility. There are two processes through which the pathology resolves. One is through the lysis, where we repeat the medicine till the end, which may require more than one drug to complete the cure. In the cases which I presented, here you saw the process of crisis, where we are able to abort the disease in the earlier two cases also. Though we took some time in identifying the simillimum in all the three cases. After finding the simillimum, we are able to see immediate cutting down of the course, no complications. In first two cases, we had to repeat 6 hourly, but in the third case, where we had an exact correspondence right from the causation to the characteristic symptoms to the location, a single dose of a deeper active remedy did help. So what we are able to see from all the three cases is the concomitants definitive treatment can be based on the basis of concomitants in the pre-localization state, what we saw in case number 2, that is the case of Stramonium. It is important to analyze the fever stages, especially by referring to the Bonninghausen characteristics and repertory and the Kate's repertory, the modalities, the concomitants of the fever, what we saw in cases 1 and 2, and understanding the symptom complex in terms of its causation, modalities, the PQRS symptoms, as we saw in all the three cases, 1, 2, and 3. And the most important is the clinical diagnosis, the location, the localization, the pathological changes, which we are able to see in all the three cases. So here we are able to derive certain generals, how the relationship of totality, susceptibility, and pathology is there. When we have the cause with the moderate susceptibility, 200 potency infrequently also has helped us. When we have the cause and the physical, when we have the totality at the level of physical general concomitants, particular modalities, and a slow pace with a to moderate susceptibility, 200 multiple doses are helped. But when we have the totality with the cause, the particular modalities, and the location, even the infrequent doses are helped. So it is important to identify the cause, important to identify the physical general concomitants, the characteristic particular modalities, the pace of the disease, and the side affinity. This helps in having the correct correspondence. More the correspondence, the lesser doses which may require, the lesser time we will spend in curing the cases. So the overall conclusions are, for homeopathic management of acute conditions, with pneumonias as an example of what I presented, a physician should possess sound senses to identify, to recognize the characteristic symptom. He should have unprejudiced observations. He should not be a prisoner of his past experiences, the past acutes, which has helped, the remedies which have helped. We should have knowledge of the clinico-pathological miasmatic correlations. We have a sound base of analysis and evaluation of symptoms to evolve a totality. We ought to have a proper repertorial references and also know the evolving acute remedial images, a proper understanding of susceptibility, sensitivity in health and in illness, and its reflection in determining the posology and repetition. And all this is possible only when we record the cases in a standardized recording format so that we can give justice to what we have received. Thank you very much. These were the references which I had did, and I would like to thank to the teachers and the books who taught me, colleagues who supported. These cases were already presented on different forums. Students who gave the opportunity and to conceptualize it further for this short presentation, and of course the patients who gave opportunity to treat. And thank you very much.